Hi everyone, Erica of Confident Parenting, and I'm answering your submitted questions. This mom wants to know, how do you potty train a toddler overnight when she's still in a crib? Thanks for the question. So I don't know where you are in the process, but the first thing I would say to know is that you can focus solely on daytime training and avoid training overnight at all at first, meaning you would go, diaper and pull up free through the day and get her skills really in place there. And for naps and nights, you would continue to use a diaper or a pull up. And then once day training is further along, you would address the overnights separately. And the reason I like to do it that way in many cases is that assuming her fluid intake is ideal, which we'll talk about in a second, and her daytime training has really solidified, some kids will just start staying dry on their own and you can avoid an active night training process. Maybe you've already done that part, but I don't know. Maybe you're already there. So step one would be day training. Step two would be to think about her pattern of fluids. If your child is used to taking a big drink to bed at night, maybe they have a big cup of milk right before bed, obviously it's less likely that she'll start to stay dry on her own. Or even if they just don't drink a lot throughout the day and then really tank up at the end of the day. So whether you're doing day and night together, while you're doing that day training process and still using a sleep diaper or pull-up, I would start thinking about the pattern of fluids and set yourselves up for success with that. So think about a pyramid or a triangle shape, but flip it upside down. So the wide part is at the top and it tapers down to a point leading up to nap, meaning you'd push fluids hard when your child wakes up and they drink and drink and drink, and then you kind of taper it down and nothing for the hour before nap, hour-ish. And then same thing in the afternoon. They wake up from nap, assuming there is one, wide part of the pyramid again, so let's have lots and lots of drinks so that we're less thirsty in the evening. And now we're gonna taper off and not have anything in the hour or two before bedtime. And if she begs for something, she's dying of thirst, you can get a little tiny shot glass or something, a little tiny Dixie cup. That way she'll feel like she's having a full cup, but she's actually not getting that much. So solidify your day training. Think about that upside down pyramid or triangle of fluids. Let's say you have all of that in place, which maybe you already do, and your child's not naturally staying dry overnight. You could think about making the crib transition first and letting your child learn to do well in a bed and then do the night training, because that it's easier to do when they're in a bed versus a crib. So I will often have my families do day training, then bed transition, then night training. Let's say, though, that you don't want to do that for whatever reason, and just to answer the question you asked, let's say your child needs to still be in a crib and you've decided that you need to do night training. And by the way, you can wait on night training, but I wouldn't wait past the time that your child is 3 or 3.5 years of age. I would also jump on the opportunity if they start waking up from nap dry consistently, or especially if they start waking in the morning dry. So let's say you've decided it's time to do this and your child's not naturally staying dry overnight and she's in a crib, so she does not have access to a potty or a toilet. Then the burden is going to kind of be on you, the parent. Either your child, one of two things will happen. Either your child will wake up because she feels like she needs to go and call for you, which is okay, but you're going to have to respond to that, take her out, help her use the potty or the toilet, put her back in. Or she will not wake up on her own, and you're going to have to set times that you yourself go in and sort of initiate the process. So let's say she falls asleep at 7:30 and you yourself go to bed at 10:30. Maybe you go into her right before your own bedtime, pick her up, put her on the potty, which hopefully is nice and close and convenient. That's another thing I would do. You don't want to trek all the way down the hall, flip on a lot of lights, get her all the way awake. You want to have easy access right there. So I do suggest to put a potty in the room right beside the crib or the bed if we're doing this with an older child. So you can just sit her right down. Hopefully she's not wearing anything from the waist down. A sleep gown or dress makes this nice and easy. And just whisper in her ear, let your pee-pee out. It's okay. You can prep her for this in advance at the beginning of the night. You can hold your pee until mommy comes to get you and help you let it out. And then hopefully she would let it out and you'd put her back in bed. And you may have to do that twice a night at first until she learns to just hold longer and stay dry longer. If she doesn't go the first time and she can make it to the second time, then you can easily get down to one sooner rather than later. So it's definitely doable in a crib. It's just a little logistically difficult because she's kind of trapped. So it's on you to go get her or to go wake her. And it may be hard logistically for you to lift her in and out of the crib multiple times. So if that's not an option, then that's where I would say you may want to get through the bed transition first and then address your night training. And of course, how to make the bed transition is a separate question for a separate video. So I hope that answers your question and helps. Thank you for sending it in. If you have a question that you want answered, send it to me either in a story post, via a message, or you can email me, erica@beaconfidentparent.com, and I will be back soon to answer more of your sleep and potty training questions. If you're interested in private support to tackle potty training or sleep, come find me for that too, and we will figure it all out together. Thanks, everybody.